If you are online at all, and let's be honest, you've seen the ads everywhere.
Oh, constantly.
That promise of guaranteed digital privacy, instant security, all with just one click.
And it's always packaged as VPN, a virtual private network. It's sold as this simple fix for all your digital paranoia.
Exactly. The modern digital cloak and dagger. But, we feel that any solution marketed that heavily really deserves a deep dive.
It does.
So our core question today is, well, it's pretty blunt. Does a VPN actually deliver on that promise of privacy?
Or could it be concentrating all your data in one place and ironically making your situation even worse?
A wolf in sheep's clothing. That's the real tension here.
It is. And at its most basic level, a VPN is just a way to send sensitive information, think intellectual property, credit card numbers, that kind of thing, over a network you don't trust.
Like the public internet.
Precise.
Okay, so our mission is clear. We're going to unpack the mechanics. We'll identify the very real threats that VPNs are designed to defeat, look at the different types, and then ultimately evaluate that huge trade-off that's involved. Let's start with the enemies. What were they designed to fight? The most basic threat seems to be just public eavesdropping.
Right. If you send unencrypted data over the internet, it's really like shouting your bank details across a crowded public square.
Anyone with a little bit of know-how can just listen in.
And the two biggest listeners, the ones to worry about, are related to visibility. First is your ISP, your internet service provider.
Comcast, Verizon, whoever you pay for access.
Exactly. Without a VPN, your ISP sees every single website you visit. They see how long you're there, and if the site isn't using strong encryption, they can potentially see the data you send.
That is a huge privacy hole right there. It's one company with a complete log of your digital life.
A complete log. But a VPN also guards against more local threats. Imagine you're at a coffee shop, maybe a hotel.
You're on their Wi-Fi.
You're on their local Wi-Fi. Before your data even hits the global internet, you're vulnerable.
And that brings up the classic evil twin attack, right?
It does. It's so simple. An attacker just sets up a fake Wi-Fi network that looks exactly like the real one.
Same name, everything.
Same name. If your phone connects to that evil twin, the attacker captures all your traffic, every password, every click. You're completely exposed before you even get online.
Okay, so let's unpack the mechanics. How does a personal VPN actually stop these things? The moment you turn that software on, everything changes.
The change is immediate. Instead of your computer just sending data out, it first takes everything, encrypts it heavily, and wraps it in a shell.
Into what they call the tunnel.
That's the one. That encrypted shell is sent through the tunnel directly to the VPN provider's server.
And that is what protects you from the ISP and the evil twin. Because all they can see is this stream of encrypted nonsense going from your computer to one single address.
The VPN server's address. That's it.
They can't see the content. They can't see where you're really going.
Nothing. But then, once your data gets to the provider, they have to decrypt it to figure out where you want it to go.
Wait, hang on. They decrypt it. Doesn't that mean they can see everything?
It does. And that is the absolute core of this entire conversation. We will get back to that.
Okay.
But for now, let's focus on the benefits. The website you're visiting, it only sees the IP address, the digital street address of the VPN provider, not yours.
So it hides your location, which is great for just, browsing, but it's also critical for getting around things like geo-restricted content.
Or even more seriously, getting around government censorship in countries where free speech is not particularly valued.
Right. So two immediate benefits. Protection from your own ISP and the ability to appear like you're somewhere else.
This whole deep dive really hinges on one crucial idea. What's fascinating here is that a VPN doesn't eliminate trust.
It just moves it.
It's simply a way of transferring that trust from one place to another. You have to trust somebody.
Okay, that's a great way to frame it. So, scenario A, no VPN.
Yeah.
You are trusting your ISP, the coffee shop Wi-Fi, the whole public internet, not to leak or sell your data.
A lot of trust in a lot of unknown places. Then there's scenario B, the corporate VPN. Millions of us use these now for remote work.
Right, but the purpose there is totally different. It's security for the company, not privacy for you, the employee.
Exactly. The company needs a secure tunnel for you to access internal files and systems. You are transferring your trust to your employer.
I hear the term split tunnel a lot in corporate IT. What does that actually mean?
It's a really important concept. A split tunnel means only some of your traffic goes through the corporate VPN.
The work stuff.
The work stuff. Your other traffic, maybe you're checking the news or streaming a video, that goes straight to the internet. It bypasses the tunnel.
So the company is basically saying, we only want to see and secure work-related traffic. Your personal browsing can stay off our servers.
That's the idea. It saves them bandwidth and gives you a faster connection for your personal stuff. But it means they're only seeing what they want to see.
Okay, which brings us to the big one. Scenario C. The third-party consumer VPN that we see advertised everywhere.
Right. And here's where that trust transfer gets really, really focused and kind of risky.
How so?
When you sign up, you transfer all of your digital trust to that one single provider. As we said, they're the ones decrypting your data.
So they see everything.
Everything. Your original IP address, the websites you visit, how often you're online, all of it.
Yeah.
In the clear. On their servers.
So the single point of failure is now this one company. We have to be really careful about who we choose, right? Especially those free ones.
Oh, absolutely. That old saying, if you're not paying for it, you're the product, is the hard reality here.
So how are the free ones paying their bills?
Well, often through data monetization. They might inject ads into your browser, or they'll sell your aggregated browsing data to marketers. Or worse, in some really notorious cases, they've sold users bandwidth to be used for botnets. They are literally trading your privacy to avoid a subscription fee.
That's a terrible trade. Okay, but let's say we pay for a good service. There are still risks, right? Starting with them getting hacked.
Of course. Even a provider with the best intentions can be breached. Now, if they have a true no-logs policy, the damage might be small.
But if they do keep logs, even just for billing or whatever,
then that information becomes a gold mine for attackers. It could compromise the identities of all of their users globally.
and then there's a legal issue. Why are so many of these VPN companies based in, Panama or the British Virgin Islands?
They're trying to create a jurisdictional shield. They're trying to mitigate the risk of legal compulsion.
A subpoena from a government.
Right. If law enforcement suspects a crime, they can force a provider to hand over user records. By setting up in a country that doesn't really cooperate with, say, US or European governments, they make that much harder.
But the downside is that you, the user, often know almost nothing about these organizations operating under foreign laws. It's intentionally opaque.
It is. Which brings us to a fourth option for the extremely privacy conscious.
Bring your own VPN, BYO VPN.
Right, setting up your own server, your own infrastructure, you're tunneling into a system you control.
So you're shifting the crust entirely onto yourself.
Almost. You control the hardware, you control the logs, but you're still trusting the underlying software you're using to run it all. Like we said, you always have to trust somebody, even if that somebody is the code itself.
Okay, so let's just consolidate. What does a high-quality paid VPN actually get you?
What's the win?
First, it successfully hides your real IP address. It masks your physical location by using the server's location instead.
Which is perfect for getting around those geopolitical content blocks.
Second, and this is critical, it hides your data from local eavesdroppers, those evil twins, and from your own ISP.
Because it's all encrypted inside the tunnel. Right. Your ISP can only see metadata. They see the volume of data you're using and that you're connected to a VPN server. They cannot see the content.
Okay, now let's flip it. Let's talk about the limitations. The marketing sometimes suggests a VPN means total anonymity. We need to puncture that idea a bit.
We do. First and foremost, it is not full anonymity. It only makes you anonymous to external actors like your ISP. The VPN provider themselves sees all your key details when they decrypt the data.
And once your traffic leaves the VPN and hits the destination website, the VPN does nothing to stop all the other ways that site can track you.
That's the part the ads always ignore. A VPN does not stop tracking cookies.
Right.
And, maybe more importantly, it offers almost no defense against something called browser fingerprinting.
Okay, explain what browser fingerprinting is and why a VPN is useless against it.
So a website can collect dozens of tiny, seemingly insignificant pieces of information about your system.
Like what?
Your screen resolution, the specific fonts you have installed, your operating system, your time zone, all the little settings in your browser. It stitches all of that together to create a unique signature for your device.
A fingerprint. And since the VPN only changes your network address, it doesn't change anything about your actual computer.
Exactly. The VPN changes your address, but your computer still has the same unique fingerprint. So if you go back to that site, it knows it's you, whether you're connecting from New York or Norway.
And of course, if you log into any account, your email, social media, anything, you have just completely negated any anonymity.
You've just announced your identity,
Yeah.
self-compromise.
Right.
And then there's the cost. Not the subscription fee, but the performance hit.
Latency. You're adding all these extra steps, encrypt, send, decrypt, re-encrypt.
You're adding distance and processing time. You'll almost always sacrifice some speed and introduce a delay compared to a direct connection.
Finally, let's just kill this idea that a VPN is some kind of antivirus software.
Yeah, that's pure marketing snake oil. A VPN is a networking tool. It encrypts traffic. It cannot stop malware. It can't stop viruses or phishing attacks. It is not a firewall.
So if we connect this to the bigger picture, some people might say, look, most websites use HTTPS encryption now anyway. Why bother with the cost and the speed hit of a VPN?
That's a fair question. The answer is that a VPN still solves the problem of your ISP snooping on you, and it still solves the problem of local network interception. A well-implemented one, that is.
And a poorly chosen one.
A poorly chosen one can make things so much worse. It just gathers up all that data you were trying to hide and hands it directly to a bad actor to be sold or hacked.
So it's not a silver bullet, but it can be a vital tool, especially for, say, bypassing censorship.
Precisely. In some environments, a VPN changes from being a privacy utility to an actual lifeline. For many activists and journalists, it's the only effective tool they have.
So we've learned a VPN is this powerful solution for very specific problems like ISP tracking and local eavesdropping. But it trades those risks for this massive concentration of trust in a single company.
And that's the bottom line for you, the listener, to figure out. Is the trust you are transferring to that VPN provider worth the risk of centralizing all your traffic with them? Do you trust their ethics more than you trust your ISP's legal obligations?
And that centralization brings us to our final provocative thought. It's especially relevant for anyone operating in a high-stakes environment.
Yeah. While a VPN might be the only way to get around censorship in some countries, those same governments are actively trying to compel providers to hand over records.
Or to infiltrate them.
Or to infiltrate them. So when you choose a VPN to protect yourself in that kind of situation, you are essentially betting your own freedom on that company's legal jurisdiction and its corporate will to resist government pressure.
And that's the real question, isn't it?
It is. Does the perceived safety of their remote location truly outweigh the fundamental risk of voluntarily handing every single byte of your data to that one single commercially driven company? It's just a very delicate balance of competing vulnerabilities.